The galaxy watched Earth with curiosity, amusement, and for some contempt. The Draconian Armada, a massive fleet of warships known across multiple star systems, had appeared suddenly at the edge of the solar system. Their engines burned bright, filling space with a golden glow, their weapons bristling and ready to fire. Every human satellite, every monitoring station, every telescope on Earth and in orbit tracked the alien behemoth's dot in the command center of the United Nations Space Defense. Alarms rang incessantly. Screens displayed the fleet's staggering numbers. Thousands of ships, each larger and deadlier than anything humans had ever built. "Sir," said Lieutenant Mara Kim, pointing to the screens. "They're heading straight for Earth." Captain Jonah Hale stood calm, hands behind his back. "And?" he asked simply. "We've seen them. We've calculated their speed, trajectory, and firepower. Now we wait, calmly." Outside, across the galaxy, alien empires who had been observing the approaching armada laughed. "This is it," a Draconian commander said confidently. "Earth is finished. Their defenses are primitive. They cannot survive against us. The humans on Earth prepared for what should have been the end. Missiles were readied, orbital defense systems primed, and emergency protocols activated. But there was no panic. Humanity had long practiced patience, precision, and calm in the face of threats. The planet's leaders moved swiftly but steadily, coordinating their limited forces with clear strategy. And then it happened, without warning, without fire, without a single explosion. The entire Draconian Armada vanished. One moment, the alien ships were on a collision course, filling space with engines and weapons fire. The next, nothing. No warp trails, no flashes of energy, no communication. They were gone. Every human sensor blinked in confusion. Every telescope aimed at the Armada returned only darkness. "Impossible!" shouted an alien officer from a distant empire observing via long-range scans. Every ship. "Gone? How?" Captain Hale did not panic. He simply said, "They're gone. That is all we know. But we will find out why." On Earth, scientists and engineers scrambled to understand the event. Analysis suggested no warp jumps, no cloaking devices, no self-destruction, just vanished. Some whispered about human secret weapons. Some thought it a fluke. Others feared a trap, but humanity did not overreact. They did not assume luck or divine intervention. They moved carefully, scanning, studying, preparing for whatever came next. Humanity had learned one lesson long ago: survive first, understand second, strike last. Alien empires, watching from light years away, dismissed the event. "Earth got lucky," one emperor declared. "They survived by chance. No one should fear them." Hale and his officers, however, knew better. The Armada had vanished, yes, but not because of luck. Humanity had already begun quiet preparations decades earlier, building defenses, systems, and contingencies no alien fleet could understand. The galaxy could ignore Earth now, but it would regret it. The first pulse of suspense settled over the world. The aliens had underestimated humans. They assumed Earth's survival was coincidence. But the humans, calm and patient, were already calculating their next move, and the galaxy would not realize the truth until terror-struck Earth remained quiet. Sensors scanned the void where the Draconians had been. Humanity waited, steady, precise, and ready. The vanishing Armada had not ended the threat. It had only revealed one undeniable fact: humans do not panic. Humans do not flee. Humans wait. And when they act, it is with absolute control. After the Draconian Armada vanished, humanity did not celebrate. Across the solar system, satellites scanned the empty space where the fleet had been. Engineers checked every sensor. Scientists studied every anomaly. Captain Jonah Hawley and his officers worked steadily, analyzing the event. Nothing was random. Nothing was ignored. Signal traces, energy fluctuations, missing mass. It all points to a controlled disappearance, Lieutenant Marakim said. They didn't flee. They didn't self-destruct. Something stopped them. Hawley nodded. Exactly. And we need to be ready if it happens again. Humanity understood something the galaxy refused to see. This vanishing was a warning. A test. The Draconians had underestimated humans. And humans had noticed. Messages were quietly sent to neighboring star systems. Humanity warned that Earth had survived a fleet that should have destroyed it. They did not brag. They did not threaten. The messages were calm, precise, factual. The galaxy, however, ignored the warnings. Most empires laughed. Earth is insignificant, one emperor said. A single planet survived by luck. Why should we worry? Meanwhile, humans worked silently. Scientists reconstructed alien technology remnants left behind by the Armada. Engineers tested orbital defense systems, refined targeting algorithms, and upgraded shields. Fleet commanders ran simulations. Every step was deliberate. Every move was careful. The suspense grew as humans prepared quietly without alerting the galaxy. Alien observers still assumed Earth was weak. They did not notice the calm, precise activity taking place. Hawley walked the bridge of the USS Pathfinder, observing his crew. "We act when necessary," he said. "We do not act for pride." The galaxy will learn to respect that. The alien fleets continued their debates. Some suggested investigating Earth, but fear and uncertainty held them back. Others dismissed the planet entirely. Humanity's restraint was itself a warning the galaxy could not understand. Human engineers completed scans of the orbital defense system. Ancient satellites, hidden weapons, and advanced sensors worked in harmony. Humans had quietly mastered technology the Draconians feared. The Armada's disappearance had only highlighted humanity's strength. "Enemy fleets will return," Kim said softly. "They don't know we're ready." "They will learn," Hawley replied. "But on our terms." Across the stars, alien commanders began to whisper. Some doubted Earth could truly be controlled by a single planet. Others laughed, calling humans lucky and insignificant. But every human action was deliberate, every preparation precise. The galaxy ignored the first warning. They thought the vanished Armada was a fluke, a cosmic accident. But humanity had already decided they would respond. And when they did, the terror would be complete. Earth remained calm. The humans watched the void. Systems were prepared, fleets were ready, defenses were online. The galaxy assumed inaction was weakness, but humans were never weak. They were patient. They were precise. And they were ready. Weeks passed. The Draconian Armada's sudden disappearance remained a mystery, but humans were not idle. Captain Jonah Hawley stood on the bridge of the USS Pathfinder, observing the solar system. Every planet, every moon, every asteroid had been scanned. Sensors picked up unusual energy patterns near Earth, traces of the vanished fleet, and hidden anomalies. Lieutenant Marakim pointed at a display. "Captain, the orbital defense grid. It's active. Not just satellites, but layers of technology we've built over decades. It can control energy on a scale the Draconians never expected." Hawley nodded. "This is our hidden strength. The galaxy underestimates us. They think the Armada's disappearance was luck. It wasn't. It was precision, preparation, and strategy." Across the galaxy, alien empires still ignored the warnings. Earth was insignificant to most. They believed humans survived by chance and would remain a minor planet. They watched from afar, confident their fleets could crush the planet if needed, but humanity was ready. The orbital defense system, ancient yet upgraded, could disable entire fleets silently. No planet would be harmed. Ships could be neutralized before any weapons fired. Humans had quietly prepared for this moment for decades unnoticed. Hawley studied the energy readings. The Armada left traces, but we can predict movements now. If they return, we control the battlefield. Kim's eyes widened. It's almost too powerful. We could stop a fleet without a single shot fired. Exactly, Hawley replied calmly. We don't need destruction to show strength. We need control, patience, and precision. That is humanity's power. Alien scouts entered the outer system, curious about the vanished Armada. Their sensors detected the humans' preparations, but they misinterpreted it as normal planetary defense. They had no idea that one planet could already hold the means to disable an entire armada. The humans ran tests quietly, activating dormant satellites, calibrating energy fields, and simulating attacks. Every test reinforced the truth. Earth was ready, and humanity was calm. Hawley spoke to his tactical officers. Prepare contingencies. If the Armada returns, we disable them quietly, efficiently, without panic. The galaxy thinks we are weak. Let's give them reason to change that view. The suspense built across the stars. Alien fleets still ignored Earth, assuming it insignificant. But every calculation, every defense system, every trained crew was proof humans were not ordinary. Hawley walked to the viewport, looking at the void where the Armada had vanished. They think the threat is gone. They think the planet is powerless. They are wrong. And soon they will see. Kim whispered, "It's almost terrifying, how calm we are compared to them." That's the lesson, Hawley said. Humans act without fear. Humans respond where others hesitate. And when necessary, humans dominate without shouting. The galaxy continued to ignore Earth, but humanity had already prepared. The hidden threat was under human control. And when the Draconian Armada or any other empire returned, terror would strike. Earth remained quiet, calm, precise, and ready. The galaxy assumed inaction was weakness. Humanity knew better. The silence did not last. Months after the Draconian Armada vanished, a new threat arrived. The alien fleets, dismissing humanity's warnings, returned with full force. Thousands of warships appeared at the edge of the solar system, their weapons ready, engines blazing. Confident they would finish what they started, Captain Jonah Hawley stood on the bridge of the USS Pathfinder, calm as ever. The crew moved efficiently at their stations, monitoring sensors, running calculations, and adjusting shields. They had prepared for this moment. Humanity had waited, studied, and mastered the battlefield. Lieutenant Mara Kim reported, "Armada approaching at high velocity. Weapon systems online. Orbital defense grid fully operational." Hawley nodded. "Good. Remember precision first, destruction only if necessary. Let's remind them why humans are not to be underestimated." The Draconian fleets fired first. Energy beams lanced through space, missiles streaked toward Earth. Alien commanders were confident. The humans would panic. Shields would fail, fleets would be destroyed. They were wrong. The orbital defense grid activated. Satellites, hidden weapons, and energy systems coordinated seamlessly. Every alien missile and energy blast was intercepted, neutralized, or rerouted. Not a single human ship fired a shot at the enemy directly. The planet itself became a fortress, controlling and disabling the Armada's weapons silently. Alien admirals stared at their screens in disbelief. How are they stopping us without firing anything? Hale's voice remained calm over the bridge. They misjudged us. They assumed fear would control humanity. It does not. The humans then activated another layer of defense. Energy pulses swept through the Armada, disabling engines, navigation systems, and weapons. Ships drifted powerless, unable to communicate or coordinate. One by one, the Draconian vessels lost function, their crew panicking as humans observed calmly. Across the galaxy, other alien civilizations watched. Some had dismissed Earth's warnings. Now they saw the truth. Humans were precise, patient, and unstoppable when provoked. The legends about humanity were not exaggeration. They were real. Hawley observed silently as the Armada drifted, disabled but unharmed. Not a single human ship fired an aggressive shot. Humans had controlled the battlefield without chaos, without panic, and without unnecessary destruction. Kim shook her head. They never expected this. They thought Earth was weak. Hawley replied quietly, "Weakness is an illusion. Calm, preparation, and precision, those are our weapons. Let them learn it today." The Draconian command ship sent distress signals. Some attempted retreat, but the orbital grid prevented movement. Humans waited, giving no mercy to those who threatened the planet while showing restraint in their methods. Finally, the Armada had no choice but to surrender or drift uselessly in the void. Alien fleets across the galaxy realized the truth. Earth was not a planet to be trifled with. Humans did not need vast fleets or endless armies to dominate. They only needed precision, patience, and intelligence. Hawley turned to the crew. "Mission complete. Stand down. Observation only from here." The galaxy had witnessed the impossible. A single planet, a single species, calmly neutralizing an entire armada without firing a single lethal shot. The strike that should have been an invasion became a demonstration of humanity's calm, measured, and absolute control. And the lesson echoed across the stars. Underestimate humans at your own peril. The Draconian Armada was gone. Not destroyed, but neutralized, completely powerless, drifting in orbit around Earth. The alien fleets watched in awe and fear. Across the galaxy, news spread. A single planet had stopped one of the most feared armadas in the stars. Captain Jonah Hawley stood quietly on the bridge of the USS Pathfinder. The crew moved efficiently, checking systems, ensuring defenses were ready, but no celebration filled the room. Humanity never boasted. They acted, precise and calm, letting results speak. Lieutenant Mara Kim reported, "All enemy ships neutralized. Energy grids stable. Communications restored. No human casualties." "Good," Hawley replied. "Send the final message." The transmission was simple, clear, calm, precise. The Draconian threat has been neutralized. Earth and its defense systems are under human control. Enter at your own risk. Humanity acts with patience, precision, and responsibility. Alien civilizations that had ignored the warnings now understood the truth. Humans were not weak. Humans were not reckless. Humans were patient, intelligent, and utterly in control. Scholars, fleet commanders, and traders debated the event across the stars. The galaxy realized that humanity had acted where others would hesitate. The humans had turned what the galaxy assumed was luck into a demonstration of skill, calm, and power. Hawley observed the drifting armada. The Draconians would recover eventually, but humanity had sent a message without destruction, without chaos, without panic. The demonstration of control was enough. The galaxy could not ignore it again. Hawley addressed his crew. "We act where necessary, with precision and intelligence. That is what defines us. Let the galaxy see today. Humans respond, humans control, humans survive, and humans thrive." The fleet powered its jump drives, stars blurring as they left orbit. Earth remained calm, its orbital defenses fully operational. Humanity had survived one of the greatest threats in history and emerged stronger, wiser, and unshakable. Alien empires now respected humans. They no longer dismissed Earth as insignificant. Traders, explorers, and diplomats carried the story. One planet, one species had dominated without fear, without panic, and without needless destruction. The galaxy learned a lesson that would last for generations. Do not underestimate humans. Do not assume patience is weakness. Do not provoke humanity, for they respond with precision, intelligence, and calm authority. The Draconian Armada had vanished, but humanity's reputation had solidified. Across the stars, whispers spread. Humans were not just survivors, they were rulers of strategy, masters of control, and a species no empire could ignore. The USS Pathfinder sailed silently into the void, ready for the next challenge. The galaxy had witnessed the truth. Humans act decisively when necessary, but always with restraint and intelligence. And every empire, every fleet, every civilization now knew that one thing above all: never underestimate humanity.